Welcome to my Week 7 NFL game predictions and best bets. And first, a recap of last week. So first, we had a terrible best bet loss. The Ravens at the Eagles. I had the Ravens covering -7.5. They're up 30-14, 16-point lead with a few minutes remaining. And then they started just choking the game. Eagles come back, touchdown, 2-point conversion. So then it was 8, and I thought I would barely cover at that point. No, Eagles with less than a minute remaining get a touchdown. Can't get the 2-point conversion, but end up covering. So the Ravens barely hold on to that win, but they aren't able to cover, and it looked like they would for most of the game. That is a heartbreaking best bet loss. And then another loss, one that wasn't even close. I'll eat this one. Vikings -3.5 in this one against the Falcons, and they just got blown out. It seems that they've given up on the season after that Seahawks loss that they really should have won. I had them covering there, so I thought they'd cover here. That was not the case. The Falcons' offense and defense showed up. It was their first complete game. Hey, they finally didn't blow a lead this time. So the Falcons earned a little respect by getting this win, but both of these teams will not be competing this season. And then the lone victory on the best bets this week, I had the Lions covering against the Jaguars, and this one came to fruition as the Lions won by 20-plus points against the Jaguars. Wasn't close. Lions offense absolutely tore apart the Jags defense. Got that running game going with DeAndre Swift and Adrian Peterson, and Matt Stafford had a great day through the air, whereas the Jags offense just was not productive in this one. So overall, 1-2 week, I really thought this would be the first time I had an overall positive record, but the Ravens, Eagles, best bet just did not go my way. So again, below 500, 9-10-1 on the season, and hopefully we can get that to above 500 for the first time this week. NFL game predictions still solid, 10-4, notably calling out the Niners beating the Rams on Sunday Night Football, which did happen, and overall 63-27, very respectable record. Now on to the Week 7 games, and first on Thursday Night Football we have the NFC East Mega Bowl, Giants at Eagles, and I don't know who to pick here. I'm going to go with the Eagles slightly because they are the proven team. This is one that they've got to win. And the last time they really needed to show up for a game was against the 49ers on Sunday Night Football, and they ended up doing it. And the Giants, they barely even got that win against the football team. Daniel Jones was running for his life. I know that the Eagles are a bit injured, but this is just a short week game that really favors the superior, talented team, and I think that's the Eagles. I think they get the win here. Next game, we have the battle of undefeated teams. 2 of the 3 undefeated teams left. The 5-0 Steelers against the Titans. We were supposed to get this one 3 weeks ago, but it did get delayed. And I'm just going to narrowly pick the Steelers here. This is going to be a great game, but I really favor that Steelers running game and the Steelers passing attack. Obviously, Chase Claypool, another strong performance last week. And then really that Steelers defense, the front 7 and everything came to play against Baker Mayfield, only letting up 7 points in that whole performance. I think they had a pick 6 and other turnovers as well. And the Titans really don't have a great defense. It's really been Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry putting up points to win them these games, except for that Bills game where they blew them out. I've got to favor the Steelers being consistent over the entire season. The Titans, they almost lost to the Texans. It was really a miracle that they won that game. It is in Nashville, but I'm going to be taking the Steelers in this one to remain undefeated, and they might go on and win this AFC North division with how dominant they were in that last win against the Browns. Now on to my first betting lock of the week. I am taking the Cowboys +1 against the football team. It's really just the gut reaction. I really think that the Cowboys will win this game against the football team. The football team is one of the worst teams in the league. I said that from the get-go. And much like the Jaguars, they got that upset in week 1 against the Eagles, who now we see aren't that great of a team. And we kind of gave them respect for it, but now they are who they are. 5 straight losses. And although the Cowboys looked abysmal in that Monday night game, I think they have a great chance to win this one. Andy Dalton and Zeke will do enough on the offensive end, and then the football team, they just have so many offensive mysteries. The Cowboys are not going to lose to a Kyle Allen, Antonio Gibson, and Terry McLaurin team. That's just not going to happen. So I'm going to be taking the Cowboys +1 here. I really just think that they're going to win this game. They need this game in the NFC East to stay in the lead, and I think they'll get it. I'm going to take Cowboys +1. Next game, we have the Bills at the Jets, and I'm going to be taking the Bills here. They really got embarrassed on that Tuesday night football game against the Titans, and then another nationally televised game against the Chiefs. Did not go very well. Chiefs just ran all over them. But fortunately for them, they are playing the worst team in the league, the Jets. The Jets, 0-6 record, and 0-6 against the spread. The spread is jacked up to, I think, about 13 or 14 points in this one. Very disrespectful to New York, but they really don't deserve anything at this point. I think this will be a get-right game for Josh Allen and this Bills offense, and a lot for this Bills rushing defense, who allowed over 250 yards on the ground to the Chiefs last week. Obviously didn't have a good performance against Derrick Henry and the Titans, but a favorable matchup here. I think they will get it done against the Jets. Next game, we have the Panthers at the Saints, and I'm going to be taking the Saints here off of a bye week. Sean Payton, Drew Brees in the Superdome against a Panthers team that I'm really not high on. They lost ugly to the Bears last week at home. It just shows that they are not a true playoff contender, and this one might get out of hand because the Saints, you see what they did to the Lions a couple of weeks ago when they really needed a win. I'm going to be taking them to beat the Panthers. Our next bet of the week, we have the Packers at the Texans, and this is a bounce-back game. I'm going to say that the Green Bay Packers will cover -3.5 against the Texans. They really did not look good. I predicted them to win last week against Tampa Bay. They were coming off of a bye and got outscored 38-0 in the last 3 quarters of the game. And I'm going to say that they're bouncing back. They just got humiliated on live television. So my 3.5 between these two teams is a bit disrespectful towards the Green Bay body of work coming into the season. And it's not like the Texans present the challenges that the Bucs did. They're not going to push them around on the offensive side of the ball. The Texans' offensive line actually is one of the worst in the league. Aaron Rodgers will have a get-right game. I think they're going to put up a lot of points. Texans might as well against a bad-looking Packers defense last week, but I'm going to say that the Green Bay Packers will win by at least a touchdown in this one, cover the -3.5. On to the third bet of the week. I'm going to be taking the Browns -3 against the Bengals. They had a similar game week 2 where the Browns got humiliated against the Ravens the week before. Very similar, and the Bengals showed promise in a loss. So Vegas really likes the Bengals here. It's only a 3-point spread. I don't know where they're doing that. Just like they did after that Ravens loss, they realized that Baker Mayfield cannot come out and throw the ball so many times. He's just going to get them into danger. They're just going to pound the rock with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, maybe get Odell involved in the offense more as they should. And I'm going to be taking the Browns here just by a field goal because I just don't think that the Bengals can hang around in this game. Next game, we have the Lions at the Falcons, and I really don't know who to pick here, but because I lost all of my confidence, frankly, in the Falcons after they failed me. I picked them so many times in the early part of the season, and it just didn't come out as I wanted to. I'm taking the Lions here. Falcons looked impressive last week, but so did the Lions. The Falcons defense played well against Kirk Cousins, the Vikings offense, but they've looked sluggish at other times this season. And the Lions, they came off a bye last week, and I know it was against the Jaguars, but they looked very good. I think they will shred this Falcons defense apart. This might be a shootout, but I'm going to narrowly take the Lions in this one. Next game, we have the Seahawks against the Cardinals. This one actually got flexed to the Sunday night game, but anyhow, I will take the Seahawks. Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll off of a bye. Now, this Cardinals team is dangerous. You saw what they did on Monday Night Football, but I just think you cannot bet against Russell Wilson. You've got to take the Seahawks here. Next game, we have the Jaguars at the Chargers. I'm going to be taking the Chargers big. They really should have so many more wins than they do at this point. They're coming off a bye. Justin Herbert has played very well throughout this season. So I'm going to be taking the Chargers here against the Jags team, who is just looking like they're tanking, frankly, at this point. They've looked abysmal in a few straight weeks, so no reason to pick them. Taking LA big. Next game is our fourth and final bet of the week. I have the Niners covering +3 against the Patriots. And I just think that this is a terrible line by Vegas. Patriots, and one of the biggest upsets of the week, they just could not put up any offense against the Broncos front seven, who the Broncos are a little banged up. And the Niners are banged up, but I would take the Niners defense against Denver any day of the week. Niners offense looked great last week. They put up 21 points in the first half against the LA Rams, and a very convincing win. Now, there is the factor of the Patriots getting humiliated last week. They'll come back and bounce back and get a crucial win here, but I just don't see that as the case. The Niners looked very good last week in a game that they needed to win, and I'm just going to ride the momentum. I see the Niners winning here, so I'll take the Niners to win, and then you're giving me 3 points as well. This seems like an easy best bet. Next game, we have a potential snow game. Chiefs at Broncos. Line is very high here. I wanted to bet for the Broncos. I think it's +10 for the Broncos, but I'm going to be taking the Chiefs just outright here. No reason to bet against them. This could be close because it is that third divisional AFC West game for the Chiefs. They obviously lost to the Raiders and had a very close game in LA against the Chargers that they probably should have lost. But with that ground and pound that they did against the Bills, that they could certainly do against the Broncos in the snow, there's no reason to pick against the Chiefs. Even if they get into a bad situation, Patrick Mahomes can bail them out. So I'm taking Kansas City here in the AFC West divisional matchup. And then in the Sunday night game that might not happen, got flexed to the afternoon. We'll see. But anyway, I had the Bucks against the Raiders because they just looked so impressive last week. And then the Raiders, I really want to pick them in this one. But then you have the rumors of the offensive line not being able to go in this one. This one might be postponed. They are off of a bye, but I just don't see it for them this week. The Bucks look too impressive. I'm going to be taking the Bucks. Next game, we have the Monday night game, the Bears against the Rams. And the Bears just, again, grinding out another win, as they've done this entire season. Get to 5-1 and are facing the Rams here. The Rams and McVay will bounce back in this one. I see this one low scoring, but I'm going to take the Rams here to win. I think Jared Goff will have a bounce back game, and the Rams defense needs a bounce back game against a not very impressive Bears offense. So I think they'll do it. I'm going to be taking the Rams here on Monday Night Football. So those are my game predictions and betting locks for Week 7. I hope you guys enjoyed, and be sure to tune in next week.